In about 93 days from the making of this video, the Detroit Lions will be playing in the Hall of Fame game, which to me is the initial start of the season. Like, that's the official start of the season. Even though it's preseason football, for us diehard football fans, especially Detroit Lions fans, it is football. Even though it's not clean, it's still here. And so for me, that's when the season begins. And the Detroit Lions, with the draft just passing, they got better. They drafted some positions that we've drafted in the past, last year and the year before. So that signals probably the exit of a lot of players that we've come to know and love. So with that being the case, we're going to look at an article from Detroit Lions on SI, 8 players that are on the roster bubble after the 2025 NFL draft. Now, first, I got to congratulate those guys at Detroit Lions on SI for reaching 1,000 subscribers. That is the milestone. Not sure if they have completed the other requirements or if they plan to monetize their YouTube channel, which they probably do. But congratulations to those fellas over there. Hopefully, I'm sure the journey will only get better from there. I'm glad John actually started a YouTube channel. I was telling him to do it, and I'm glad he finally did it. But with that being the case, we're going to take a look. I'm going to give you my opinion on who I think, if I think any of these guys or who stays out of the 8. Now, the Detroit Lions are currently at the 90-man roster limit. We cut Antoine Green. I believe that still makes it. I think we were over after the draft, and then we kind of had to get down. Antoine Green is gone, and don't forget, we also have the international pathway player. He does not count toward the 90-man roster. I don't know if we've had one truly make the team. I know it was a guy last year. He stuck around for a little bit, but I don't know if they've had any impact on our team. I can't speak for the rest of the NFL. But the first player on the list is none other than my favorite draft pick of all time, Broderick Martin, who has come in lean. He's the leanest he's been over the past couple of years. But I think that with the drafting of Tyleik Williams, that has to mean an exit for Broderick Martin. Now, the reason that I was so convinced, it was like this. There's no way we took, in my opinion, a DT in the first 3 rounds if we believe in Broderick Martin. And the fact that we did with our first pick in the first round, pick 28, there's no way. Now, I understand that you're talking about a first-round pick versus a third-round pick. But let's be clear. I've seen some mock drafts where Tyleik he was like a late first, a second to some people, to some prospect scouts. And then Broderick Martin, we traded up to get him. So we really believed in him. So you could essentially say, let's say an early second versus a late third. Broderick Martin, I think the fact that we took one in the capital we gave up for Broderick and the fact that we took a DT, think about it. Broderick, if he was ready, shouldn't he take over for Aleem? Shouldn't he be able to step up? So I think that signals that he is not ready and he will not be part of the team. Listen, Broderick Martin might not make the team in 2020. Heading into 2025. He might not make the team. Right now, they have Broderick Martin as 4th on the ESPN, has him 4th on the depth chart. He's behind Roy Lopez, Tyleik, Levi, Aleem. He's far down there. Like, he's anybody on a 4th string you're talking about. Now, it is possible, I believe, that Broderick could be cut and then placed back on the practice squad. But he's anybody in the 4th column usually is cut. Like, that's how that works. So I agree 100%. I would be surprised if he makes the team. Right now I'm about 50-50 after training camp. After preseason is over, I'll be able to tell you when those 53-man rosters are set. I honestly right now don't think he makes the team. And that's, I'm not even trying to be mean. I don't think he makes the team. All right. The next person is Kobe Sorsdahl. We took him in the 5th round in 2023. Ironically, the same draft as Broderick Martin. And if you think about it, after we took Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, then we took Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, then we took Sam Laporta and Brian Branch. After that, this is the rest of the draft. It's like this, right? It's like, So right now, it's not really looking great for Kobe Sorsdahl, and we took 2 guards. I think we traded up for both. I know we traded up for the first one that we went from 50 to 67 for Tate. I can't remember the second one, but I also think that means the end of Kobe Sorsdahl. Now, this one here, Trevor Nowalski. This one, they love this guy. Trevor Nowalski was was he the guy that went to Arizona that he was picked up off waivers? I want to say yes. I actually think that Trevor, I think I could see him sticking around because they love Trevor. I want to say he was the guy, they waived him. He was picked up by Arizona. Then Arizona cut him, and then we went and got him back. Or Clinton, I can't remember. But I think Trevor, he might be out of the list so far. I think he's probably most likely to stick around. Here's another one, Craig Reynolds, a guy, undrafted guy that fought through adversity. He was the Hard Knocks darling. I remember that we wind up talking about when we Hard Knocks, and Deuce Staley, our running back coach at the time, was talking about how would you feel if we cut Craig Reynolds? And no, Dan Campbell asked that question, and Deuce was like, no way. The offensive line would chew you out. Everybody, he is a Detroit Lion. Now, that was 3 years ago, right? We're a much different team from then, but we did not draft any. I think we brought in a running back in undrafted free agency, and we usually keep 4 on the roster. So I think right now, unless he's beat out or we bring somebody in, I think Craig does stick around. So right now, out of these 8, I think we're most likely 2 for 2. I think Kobe and Broderick could be on their way out, where Trevor and what's his name? Craig Reynolds sticks around. Now, this one right here, Coyote Awasika. This is another guy, too, with the fact that we took, 2 offensive linemen. I don't know. They love this guy. They love him. So they call him Yodi, I believe it is. So I'm not sure just yet. For him, I'm going to have to see something when it comes to the preseason. But I could see him being a bubble guy for sure. Now, this one is very intriguing because we know Brad loves his cornerbacks. Rock Ya-Sin. We do have a bunch of people in the secondary. Like when it comes to cornerbacks, we have a ton of them. We took a safety in the draft. I think we have a couple cornerbacks, at least one in undrafted free agency. They really don't make an impact. So I don't know, Rock Ya-Sin. I think it could be a depth situation when it comes, but you also have Khalil Dorsey that I think, I don't know, man. I feel like he might be able to be out, Khalil Dorsey. So we'll see. So right now, I'm leaning with more of these guys stay. The 2 for certain that I think would be most realistic is Kobe and Broderick for sure. I think Broderick is on the top of the list. And this guy here, Anthony Pittman, absolutely special teams guy, but he's a guy that keeps leaving and coming back. The Detroit Lions keep finding a way to bring Anthony Pittman back again. We know that they are not TOA, talent over everything for the Detroit Lions. It is about whether or not you fit the team. The next player here, and I think this could be the last or second to last, is Maurice Norris, 100%. 100%. He was actually an undrafted rookie free agent in 2024 as we were going into that season. So I could see that. Again, we have a plethora of people in the secondary. So I agree with, if I wanted to be, I could say I'm 50-50, that I could see 8 out of the 8. I could see 4 staying and 4 going, but for sure, Maurice is like a bubble guy anyway. Anthony's a bubble guy, and I think that Rock Ya-Sin, Coyote, Craig, and I think those guys, and Trevor, I think they stay. I think Kobe, Broderick, and then the 2 at the bottom of the list, which was Anthony Pittman and Maurice Norris, I think those guys are off. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that is the case? That these guys, how many of those guys do you think will be? I think they're all, I don't know if they're all bubble guys. If I had to say the least 2, honestly, I would say Craig Reynolds and Rock Ya-Sin are probably the 2. No, Craig Reynolds and Trevor. And then I think Rock would be 3rd. And I think everybody else could be bubble guys. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. We are at the making of this video. I'm just going to assume that we hit 1 subscriber. As a matter of fact, let me check. Let me check real quick so I can speak in fact, which is something that I do like to do. We are not there yet. We are 1 subscriber away from 29.9K, leaving us with 100 more to get before we finally get to 30K and have the 30K giveaway. Now, I got to shock you real quick. We usually give away 3 prizes when we have these large milestones, 25, 30, and so on and so forth. 10,000 subscribers ago, I tried to give away the Villain Lion. It's 16 inches and it's black on gray. It mimics the Motor City Muscle helmet Lion. If you can see from here, if you can catch a glimpse of it, it's pretty much just like that. It is an LED light, very similar to the one that is behind me right now. And it's much smaller. Of course, this one you can't really tell because I'm right now about 4 feet away from this Lion. 3.5, 4 feet away from the Lion, probably closer to 4. If I was to back up or the camera was to get closer, you would see just how big it is. So this thing is, if it was behind me, you wouldn't be able to see it. But on your wall, wherever you put it, it will look great. We're giving away that as the first place prize. The second prize will be a Calvin Johnson bobblehead, which is also on my table. It is this one right here. That's the Calvin Johnson bobblehead. You've got Brad Holmes, you've got Aiden Hutchinson, and then you've got the FOCO bobbleheads. Jameer Gibbs is covered up right now. I got to figure out where I'm going to put him, but that will be prize number 2. And then the third place prize will be a mini helmet, probably the normal one we wear with the gray and the blue face mask. So that's going to happen whenever we get to 30K. I was hoping we could be there by the end of the draft, but alas, that did not happen. Hopefully we'll be there by the schedule release. But when that does happen, look forward to the subscriber giveaway video. Let me know your thoughts on this, though. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.